Storytelling is incredibly challenging. As a filmmaker, you sit down every day to face this head on. You start out with a blank canvas, a black rectangle. It's as simple as that. It's your job to fill it. If you're doing your job correctly, every decision seems obvious. The subtle music score, the B-roll, and the opening interview.
When you do something different, when you follow your gut, when you try to zig when everyone else zags, you, by sheer nature of momentum, move in a direction where other people aren't looking.
Every scene appears in front of our eyes as if it were meant to be, like there were no other alternatives than that next frame. But during the edit, you have every decision at your fingertips, and that's where the challenge lies. I remember as a kid watching DVD extras. You would get the DVD, even after watching the film, it was exciting because you knew there may be some extras, whether that's just the commentary from the director, or if you were lucky, you could see alternate endings. Alternate endings were such an interesting idea to me. I was so captivated. I wanted to watch every different version that could have been, that wasn't. It's almost like I was able to, for a minute, live in an alternate reality. And then when I really thought about it around this time, I started to realize that as a filmmaker, as a director, as a creator, you have thousands, if not millions of decisions that go into every single project that you make. And it wasn't just an alternate ending that could be possible, it was an alternate beginning. There was probably many alternate middles. Every single way that you could imagine a story playing out, a director and a creator has to think about those. And I realized from that point that you weren't just aiming at a target, you were aiming at a moving target. Joe Beshenkovsky is an Emmy award-winning editor that's worked on This American Life, Objectified, and Cobain, Montage of Heck. Sitting down with him, I knew that I wanted to talk about storytelling, specifically the challenges that he faces.
The fact of the matter is that storytelling is really, really hard. And people do not say that enough. You know, I don't care who it is, you know, if it's Judd or if it's Ira or if it's anybody I work with, at some point you're in the room and you're just sitting there like this and you're like, I don't know how to solve this thing. You know what I mean? And that happens all the time. And I think the difference is that the good people just keep fighting through it. You know, like you need to know what's good enough. That's the hard part. And it takes a long time. You have to do a lot of shitty work before you get good enough, you know? It's just about getting your reps in, you know? The first jump shot LeBron ever made probably clanged off the top of, you know, the clock, you know what I mean? But he kept shooting. And you have to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you have to be hungry. And you just have to ask for opportunities.
A lot of people, a lot of creatives, entrepreneurs that would say, don't be a perfectionist. But I think the beauty is in trying to find that balance where like you are a perfectionist in so many ways. Cause like if you weren't a perfectionist, if you really didn't want to get the story right and just kill it and knock it out of the park, then I don't think you're going to deliver your best work.
Yeah. Well, that's what deadlines are for.
Right.
You know, like at a certain point, it's got to be done. You know what I mean? But until you have to hand it over, you just go crazy trying to make it just like pull every drop of blood out of that thing that you can, you know?
So you might catch yourself from time to time watching a film or looking at a piece of art thinking, I could do that. You might even be thinking that right now as you watch this YouTube video. And I think that is great. That naive approach is what got me to set out and direct and edit my first documentary. But what you will find and what you should expect whenever you try to delve into storytelling, especially trying to tell an ambitious story, is that this shit is hard. And what really got me through my first couple documentaries, what got me through telling stories that I found incredibly challenging and time-consuming and exhausting, is that pain is inevitable. You're always gonna go through tough times. You're always gonna have your back against the wall and not know which direction to head. But suffering is optional. You don't have to suffer. You can do this in a way where you still keep your sanity, where you still get enough sleep, where you're well fed, you have your life in balance. And that's something that I think that as storytellers, we should all strive to achieve. The Ground Up Show is a podcast that inspires creatives to make things happen. It's available on your favorite podcasting app. Go to groundupshow.com to get all the links.